Hi Gemini, it's so good to see you. Thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Chandler and this is your intuitive energy reading for this week. It is coming out a day late. I apologize, you guys. Typically I get your reading out on Monday. I do appreciate your patience. Of course, things come up. I hope this arrives to you in divine right timing, okay? This is for a Gemini with either a sun, moon, rising, or Venus. And of course, if you're a cross watcher, watching for a Gemini love, feel free to switch up or reverse the roles. I could actually be speaking to you directly during this reading. And of course, the characteristics are universal, okay? There could be energy that you are harnessing or the other person is harnessing. So feel free to play along with the storyline as it pertains to your specific story. Okay, you guys? I'm feeling just a lot of calm energy. I'm recording this actually later in the day, as you guys can see probably from my lights. I feel very calm, okay? I feel very contemplative. I feel like something is accelerating or happening though, all right? And it's sort of like on this back burner, or, it may just be on, in the back of your mind that there's something going on, okay? There's something going on, you're feeling something happening. And maybe you're deciding upon which way to move forward. But there is an acceleration. It's a little bit like a time crunch, or like now is the moment kind of energy. Okay. I feel you hesitating on moving forward. Maybe there's something you need to find, maybe something you need to know, maybe something needs to work itself out, or maybe you're planning something. There's a little bit of a hesitation, okay? So we're going to see what my fairy oracle has to say for you. Oh geez, okay. So we have 3 cards. Initially we have Fairy Lovers, which is beautiful. It's like the love card in the Fairy Oracle deck. So Fairy Lovers 46, representing a cyclical energy. So this could be someone you have a past with. I'm just saying, Gemini. The Fairy Lovers typically denotes new love, courtship, romance, falling in love. I mean, it is what it says. There's rosebuds all around, all right, and these fairy lovers literally can't get close enough. They are the epitome of new love, honeymoon essence, right? They can't get close enough, they can't get enough of each other, and the union itself is pretty enthralling. I mean, it's pretty exciting, it's intoxicating. They want to know more about each other. There's infinite possibilities here. And so with the 10, you could also be looking at a new beginning, right? As we go from the 10, we get to the 1. And so as you've completed a cycle, maybe with this person, maybe this is a returning soulmate of yours, there is a new, fresh beginning potentially for you two as well. We're going to look up the divinatory messages behind this card, just to see a deeper look into what this is all about for you. Gemini, you are about to fall in love. It is most likely to be with a beautiful other who you will be spellbound by. Do not fear, they will love too, and the rapture that will come from this coming together will outweigh all the fear you have experienced or anticipate experiencing at its loss in the past. This love is new, but it may be also experience of a revival of a deep, fresh love in a mature relationship. Courtship, being romanced and swept off your feet. You will find you and your love are both magical beings who respond best to being outdoors. Making love under the trees will help you stay in love and experience ecstatic union. A wild, free, deep, and true love is in bud. Oh, rapture. Oh, deepest and wildest of joys. This, apparently the author was very excited to create this card because it does seem like one of the best feelings. I mean, if we really just kind of feel into this card, it is one of the best feelings. It's like there is fear attached to it, especially if it's someone from the past, which I see from the following 2 cards. It definitely is. And you could have some reservations or at least some hesitations about this, okay? That's maybe why I was like, maybe not yet. I need a moment, or I need to figure some things out, because it does feel very real. Okay, if especially if this is a returning partner, it's returning because you still have that essence. There is still that connection. There is still that overwhelming, irresistible pull, okay, to this person, that time and time again. It may be reoccurring for you, and whether or not you like it, Gemini, this could be coming for you. So let's get into the other cards. Once was innocent and her special place. Now, once was innocent is definitely about knowing, right? Definitely about knowing. So once was innocent says knowledge means change. And so something that you could have known for a long time. You could have come into the awareness of this very recently, but regardless of how long you've known for, you know now. And so, what will you do now? Okay, knowledge means change. Knowledge, once you know, means that you can't just go back to the complacency of not knowing. You can't just think your way out of something or reason your way out of your feelings. Because now that you've resurfaced maybe a more mature, equipped, reliable, or force to be reckoned with, now you know what you're capable of. Now you know what the story is. Now you know. So what will you do? What will you do, Gemini? The 28, another cyclical energy. I can't believe it. We have 2 10s. This is a huge cycle completion. This is a huge cycle completion, and I will say this is very synchronistic because on Saturday we have a black moon in Virgo. And so this black moon denotes new beginnings in the darkest of times. Okay, so without completely throwing you guys off, it does talk about being in the dark, having complete uncertainty about things, but setting intentions regardless. Because it's not having the certainty that guides us. It shouldn't be, at least. It should be what we know we are capable of, what we know the truth is, or what we feel should be. And so that's, I think, what you're being drawn to sort of look into or overcome within yourself, is this unknowingness. What is it that you are afraid of? What is it that you feel you should know or have to know that you don't already know? There is something within that energy that I think is already the confirmation that you seek, and it lies within your emotions, it lies within the connection, it lies within the shadow work of your fears and insecurities, all the time that you've spent maybe at a distance or separated with this person. Now you know, and you are much more wise than you were before. Coming back together is going to be different. 2 10s, you got to admit, this is very synchronistic as to whatever is coming to an end and whatever is beginning. And then to finalize that energy, we have a number 7, her special place. Find your own safe place inside and out. So again, with these energies, it can feel fairly tumultuous. It can feel fairly unnerving or even just enthralling and exciting, which can be conversely, overwhelming. Okay, so when you have this card, you're being asked to create a special place that you can go, you by yourself, no one else knows about this, all right? It doesn't matter whether you have to drive into the mountains or, subconsciously just sort of find a happy place. You're going to have to do this because you're going to need to keep your independence through this relationship. You're going to need to not become dependent, needy, insecure, overwhelmed at this time. This is going smoothly. This is going exactly to plan, says universe. So trust in the unfoldment and don't rush and don't avoid anything. Okay? Just be present. Just be present. Find your happy place, your special place where you can be receptive and open to the things that are coming your way, that are in fact divinely inspired. When we have a 7, it means that they're divine and it means things are moving forward. There's an accelerated energy surrounding you, Gemini. So as long as you have your center, you'll be golden. As soon as you know who you are and that this will change inevitably because you have changed inevitably, you'll be fine. Nothing to worry about. Nothing to worry about. This is a cycle completion. Something is indefinitely coming to an end. And I think that some of you are very relieved at that. It could be the end of separation. It could be the end of singledom. It could be the end of isolation. You know, breaking out of your shell, finding a new identity that just kind of serves you more, makes you feel more alive. This person may make you feel more alive. But it's important through all of that to keep your independence, Gemini. To keep those things that only you know of yourself very sacred, very holy, and maybe even to put in perspective your thoughts at this time by journaling, keeping a diary, things that are sacred to you, okay? That even you wouldn't share with this person. Let's keep diving a little bit deeper into this, Gemini. Please show me what I need to see for Gemini. Okay, 2 of coins. Interesting. Interesting. Tell me what else I need to see for Gemini. 5 of coins. Whoa, okay. Interesting. Very interesting, Gemini. We have the 2 of coins being that of a decision that needs to be made, right? Or balancing out or harmony of a situation. When we're looking at the 2 of coins, it is something of a balancing act, okay? And it looks like you're balancing pretty well. This is the energy that is predominant, okay? This is the core. Maybe you're in between partners. Maybe you are, needing to make a decision about how to proceed. This does feel long-term, okay? It does feel kind of like an investment. But there's one pathway, right? There's one pathway. And, eventually you may get tired from trying to balancing these 2 jugs of water, or these coins, essentially. So moving forward methodically into Virgo season, you are maintaining really well. There is balance or harmony in your energy, but knowing that eventually a decision will need to be made, or something will need to happen to create a firmer foundation. Of course, 2 of coins is not a bad place to start in a relationship, but it's not very stable, okay? It is polarizing, okay? There is a little bit of duality. There is a balancing act going on, but eventually this will need to foundationalize and go from the 2 to the 3, where spirit is involved, commitment is involved, there's a craft or sincerity or integrity involved. This is a very humble beginning, okay, between 2 people. And then where that brings us, we have the 5 of coins to the Magician. So you could be waiting on communication. There could be an energy from the past kind of coming up here as you find your special place. It does seem like someone was left out in the cold, or there was a lot of years or distance between you 2. It does kind of seem like there is a hope here to fix this or to change this, but inevitably those feelings are still very much there with you, Gemini. We have your major arcana coming up as the alchemist, the magician, which is a transformative energy. It is a transformation energy. It is one that is of communication and accelerated motion, of conclusions, advancements, travel, progress, okay? So you could be, with this person, moving out of this sort of isolated, cold, damp, codependent, lack energy, and hoping to remedy this, fix this, up-level this to a better place. But I think you do have some reservations about that. Or, you are simply waiting on whether this person is willing and able to do this with you. okay? Let's keep going, Gemini. The World. Ooh. Let's clarify. Whoa. Whoa. Gemini, oh my gosh. Okay. Let's unpack this a little bit. So we have the World and the Wheel exactly like this. So the World is in reverse and the Wheel is upright. Now, the World in reverse is definitely talking about closing out a major cycle. Okay, so I can't reiterate enough. This World is the Capricornian, Libran, Tauran, Venusian energy, Aphrodite in all her glorious beauty of love, luxury, passion, but simply in reverse. This last cycle of your life may not have felt like that, okay? It may not have really felt like that. It may have felt even more so like a suffocating, lacking, very tumultuous, overcomplicated, long, like extensively drawn out cycle. That's kind of what I'm getting from this card. So if you do have resistance, it's understandable, because what cycle you're closing out is creating the fear of what you could potentially experience again with this person. Again, we have two cyclical energies, which is indicative of needing to know that you're not just going to repeat the same cycle again with this person. Needing validation that they've changed, that they're considering their options in a very serious way if they have options. If they're considering you in a very serious way, okay? Because there's just I don't feel like Gemini even wants to go back if it's going to be the same old stuff. You know, they would much rather move forward, because look at what Gemini has in front of them. The Wheel. This is Jupiterian, good fortune, good karma, the wheel turning in your favor, prosperity and abundance coming out of the cold, reaping the good rewards that you've sown, getting out of this previous cycle that was so difficult and just plain hard, right? To much simpler, easy, and even lucky times, okay? But with this wheel, we have denoting this very cyclical energy, something that's a cycle, that just is, it feels huge, okay? It feels huge. Even if this person is coming back into your life, it feels huge. If you're emerging in a different way, it feels huge, okay? Whatever transition this is or has been for you, it's been a very serious one when we have the World, okay? So look, you have changed, Gemini. You have changed, and you're looking at the big picture now that the wheel is moving forward. You're simply saying, I once was innocent. I once was naive. I once didn't know better, but now I know. Now I know. And so I'm not just going to repeat the same cycle. I need hard evidence. I need proof. I need trust. I need to feel secure. And regardless of whether you're in this with me or not, says Gemini, I'm moving forward in that way. And so I think this masculine, because the Magician is typically the divine masculine, is trying to come through in a different way too. They're trying to change this pattern with you. They want to come out of the cold with you and alchemize this situation, Gemini. But I just feel kind of like you're still on the fence, okay? You're still on the fence. Then we have this Eight of Cups, which I think is a solo energy of leaving something behind for good, okay? Like whatever emotions have sort of developed or evolved in the past, you're really taking a good look at them. And this is not a sad energy. Typically when we see the traditional tarot, it's someone who has their back turned to the cups and they almost feel kind of like sad or ashamed, moving on in a sort of remorseful way. But instead, we're looking at this young man who is leaving his home, aspiring for more, okay? They're looking at the things that they're leaving, and sure, it could be a sad process. But in essence, they're doing this so that they can expand, so that they can have more, so that they can grow and find themselves. It does seem indicative of needing to do something that actually changes your surroundings, or leaving something behind for good, and really not looking back, whether that pertains to the past with this person. You know, the cycle that you've so far overcome and are very recently completing within your life. And just simply not lending to those emotions of stagnancy, staying complacent. You're really challenging yourself for this change. Okay, you're really challenging yourself for this change, because ultimately, and Spirit works in really weird ways, you guys. We have the Four of Wands on the bottom of the deck. I would say that someone is leaving either a family, a community, a relationship, in search of the truth, in search of what they resonate with, there's a certain sacrifice here. There is a certain sacrifice here. So if this is for the Gemini, maybe your masculine is making a sacrifice. Gemini, you could be making this sacrifice to be with your person. I would say that's maybe why this person is on the fence. Okay, maybe this is why that person is on the fence. Okay, because they know that they have something with you. They know that there's something possible with here. And this could be how you're feeling, Gemini. But there also is this process. Okay, there also is this process. It's a very delicate, right, or kind of precious new beginning, where if you do have a past with someone, it's kind of like, well, we can't really rush into things. There's some stuff there, right? And so this person goes into this process willingly and knowingly that they're not going to arrive at their destination immediately. Okay, that's kind of what I'm feeling, is like there is a sacrifice there that is a humble beginning, leaving something that no longer serves someone in order to gain more long term, maybe with the Gemini, okay? Because this Four of Wands denotes a 2222 on the clock. This Four of Wands denotes a long journey, okay? A long journey, or a test or a challenge that's been overcome, and then finally the day arrives where everything just comes together and it all makes sense, and everyone's in celebration of what a crazy time this has been, right? So if you have a tumultuous past with someone, it isn't impossible that can actually nourish the soil beneath this relationship. It is possible. But again, this delicacy wants to come through very strongly, as if to say, yeah, there is a new cycle, there is a new chapter, and it is possible, but there needs to be evidence, and there needs to be sacrifice, and there needs to be humility, and there needs to be understanding, and there needs to be trust. And so it's you can see how this is going to take maybe some time, but there is this blossoming love, and it's undeniable. Okay, it's undeniable that there's a new beginning here. Please show me what I need to see for Gemini. Okay. So, the Knight of Coins and 10 of Wands. This is the fourth 10 that we've had on the deck. Okay, you guys, so listen. With the Knight of Coins, this is maybe the proof that you're seeking. Where we have the Knight of Coins, this is someone making an offer. Okay, at the very least, it could just be an offer. This person could simply say in very logistic terms, let's do it. You know, this is a commitment that gets straight to the point. It's not wishy-washy. It's not super romantic. It's not, overinflated. It's someone who probably knows you pretty well, Gemini. It's someone who wants to get straight to the point, who doesn't want to gloss over, who doesn't want to spend too much time, kind of overcomplicating it. They're talking about commitment. They're talking about wanting and being willing to do the work. Where we have the 10 of Wands, this is someone who knows with you, Gemini, that there may be a slight burden to carry. Okay, there could be a slight burden, and I say that in the most loving way, Gemini. But especially if you have a past with this person, this is their burden. Regardless, if whatever happened between you two, it does seem like you are fully aware of the ongoings of the past. Okay, it doesn't seem like you're naive to what has actually happened, and they're either wanting to just sort of tread lightly and start in very simple ways, as to make an offer and say, hey, I'm willing to do this with you, or this is a move in your direction. This could be a foundational move. Someone could be coming back to you. You could be living together again. You could be really trying things out in very real and tangible ways. That does create an immediate sort of effort from this person. It is tangible. It is something of a commitment. It's very real, okay? It's very honest. But it is simple, at least at first. It is simple, at least at first. It's something that would be logical. It would be in simple, something that a couple or a relationship would have between them in order to sort of foundationalize the commitment, something that joins them. Okay, so there's a very interesting play on words here. Joining, foundation beneath you, carrying a burden, or, carrying the weight, of their circumstances. There is a certain sacrifice, movement forward, and recognition of the relationship and of the past. Okay, so this is a very interesting energy, a very interesting reading. Judgment has come up so much lately. But again, judgment does denote revival, okay? Recognition, realization, and even more so, a Lazarus effect, okay? Second chances, you guys, second chances, and that being divinely guided, okay? So what I was saying when I was talking about what the universe is sort of advising is to maybe give this person a second chance, is to maybe take the lessons that you have learned, now that you are not so naive and so innocent. And clearly, Gemini, you still have very strong feelings for this person. And it is cyclical. It is something that reoccurs, and it's something that comes back into your life maybe time and time again. And it's time now, I think, to think more seriously about it. To maybe take a look at what the options are and what you're capable of having with this person. It does seem as though there could be some prosperous times in the future. Exiting the world for the wheel, that seems like a good trade-off. Very large cycles talking about lack, suffocation. You guys know, to abundance and expansiveness and luck and joy and travel and, whatever you guys want, to be honest. But Gemini, you're still on the fence, okay? So maybe this week there will be some communication. There will be some advancements in your direction. Maybe your feelings will sort of evolve with this person. Maybe they'll show you that they've changed, or they've alchemized the situation. They've come out of the cold with you. There is something there that actually ends in a much more warmer tone, okay, than it began. Something happens and you begin to feel more comfortable with this person. So what I would say is just to take things slow, okay? Just take things slow, see where things go. But it does seem like things are serious or real between you guys from the beginning. Okay, the foundation that's beneath you is very real. Whatever pain, sorrow, separation happened to begin with, it could, if you guys handle this in the right way, nourish the soil beneath you. So it's a very delicate process. If you guys want to, you can follow me over to Vimeo. I'm going to unpack this a little bit more, but if this is where we separate, you guys, I hope you have an amazing week. It does feel like there is a karmic completion at the end, and so things are moving accordingly, I would like to say. And I think that your feelings will be validated by the end of the week. Okay, you guys? Thank you so much, and I will see you next week. Bye-bye.